What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines. Rosewood, Season 10, Episode number 27. Yeah. So, I shouldn't even have moved the camera. It's such a beautiful sunrise on this town. I love it. You can still see the red lights of, well, I guess the red light district. That's our leisure spot that is open 24/7. You can see the bus stop is, tram stop is doing pretty good, moving people around. Love it. I did notice one thing when I was kind of jumping through menus, and that is this 25% unemployment. That is horrible. That's like real life right now. We don't need that. Let's play it on 3 times speed. Let's let the sun move around. We could look at, this is a really linear, really straight shot zone. There's not much to it design wise. At least this has a little bit more flow, a little bit more flavor. I'm debating offices or not. I don't think so. I don't think we need it. We definitely got to add some more commercial spots though, I guess. For the people that we do have living here, they need more places to work. So I think we're gonna encroach a bit on our residential areas here and steal some of these little side spots. You know, not there in the park. I don't know. Are those too close? Whatever. It's too late now. They're already moved in. Oh, I'm doing high density too. Oh. Yeah, no, that's definitely wrong. Okay, so low density. Hold on. At least let's do that. We won't do that one at the park. We'll save that. I don't know how much that's actually going to help our demands, but it might be all right. It might make a little bit of a dent in the commercial. We got to stop moving people in. Is the problem at this point? If we want all these people to get employed, so we'll see what that does. We'll see what that does to our commercial demand. Industrial demand. We could meet it with office. We could meet it with industry. We haven't done the industry yet. I started to spread the sports arenas out a little bit. I forget if I did that on one of the failed recordings last week. I feel like I might have. But I deleted what? Basketball, aquatics, and track and field. Baseball and football, very key to America. Whoa! Look at this. Look at all those people heading to that new train station. That is awesome. Those are people that are not getting on the roads. So this is a game letting out at the same time. That's weird. So apparently games just happen at the same time. So let's get a look at like our traffic nightmare, right? This is as bad as it gets because both of these are letting out at the exact same time. Now, the nice thing is it looks like a decent number of people are walking over here too. So that train station is going to get packed. How many people are heading out of the city? A lot. I think those are all people that are bound to leave. Nope, they're coming in. Never mind. I take it back. Lots of people on foot. Decent number of people in cars, but not terrible, not unmanageable. You know, are they coming all the way down here and getting on the highway? Or are they getting to other parts of the town? I guess if you were going to leave the city, you'd hope that they would just take the train out. So these are probably people heading into the city, but you know, we're at 89% traffic flow right now. And this is our absolute worst case scenario. 2 games letting out at the exact same time. Now, previously, we had so many people walking down here. This became kind of like our tram stops were earlier in the season with hundreds and hundreds of people waiting at them. But now they take the trains, and how the trains doing? I mean, they're doing all right. There's a lot of people waiting, but the trains move a lot more people around. I want to say 240. Wow. Okay. And those are trains coming in from the outside, I do believe. Because I think any of the internal ones are going to be the color of the line, which should be the blue trains. No. Oh, that one, that train's coming in also. This red train. So let's wait for these. Let's see this back up at the station. So this one pulled in there because it should be coming right back out. It is. The reds... That should not go into the city. Okay. They will park side by side. Interesting. They'll use that little junction. So lots of people getting off the train to then walk into the city or walk over to the bus hub. And we got a bit of people waiting there. That's okay. That'll move them around to the buses, which moves them around to the trams and stuff. I mean, look at that. Come on, those games just let out, and we're at 91% traffic. I'm loving it. I know we were debating early on in the season, like, you know, do we get crazy with one-way flows and do all sorts of stuff? But if you wait it out and you provide enough options for the Sims, they'll do other things. You know, get them moving around to other areas. One of the things that I've been wanting to do, and I think it's time. Of course, we weren't gonna get out of here that easy. I feel like this is a poor fire coverage area too. Not the best. Certainly not the best. Come on, where are they? Is the helicopter gonna get here first? Helicopter's gonna totally get here first. Thanks for nothing, fire truck. Look at that. It's already out by the time you get out of... Yeah, good job. Spraying down the wet house. Good work. Parks. So, we've got this this area paint over here. Let's get out of this. Because I know this can be annoying on YouTube. If it's tough to see. So, I've painted a park area around Greenwood, which basically means we can drop some parks and stuff in. Do we do, like, you know, the nature reserve elements? I don't think there'd be camping and stuff in the residential area. I think we can stay with park gates. But the thing with these is, the thing that's kind of cool, is if you do the, I mean, in this case, the small gate is not so small. But we could even throw this like way up here on the hill, right? Out of the way of everything. It doesn't have to be connected to anything, theoretically. It just basically defines this area as a park. And now we can use and upgrade, you know, these other objects. I did a, yeah, I did that one. I did that one on purpose because the paths. If we want to link this path up, right? The gravel path makes a lot more sense in this neighborhood. So do we just have this kind of disconnected up here and fill in some park space just to have some park objects? I think that we do, but I want to see one thing first. So if we go to leisure, parks and plazas, it's pretty rough and mostly in the red there, except for down here where they're kind of close to some of the uniques. So let's see if we can make that any better by just adding some objects around the area. I don't want to move too many people out, but I would like to get a path through here. Man, you know, we never finished that bike highway, and by we, I mean me, obviously. I connected up, I did connect up this path, but I changed it to pedestrian path. Because, as you can see right there, the nice thing about pedestrian paths is you can have bikes and pedestrians on them, whereas pedestrian paths, strike that, reverse it. Bike paths will only have bikes, they won't have pedestrians on them. So this just lets people kind of move around. So these objects don't really make any sense. And in turn, we would be unlocking those by leveling up that. So how awkward does the city park gate look? when we put it in there next to all these. So we could even just have it over here by the... Right, a little gate comes in here. Let's freeform this to where the road bends, so where the zoning starts to separate. That's generally a good place to snap. Or not. Fine, be that way, game. We'll turn off all snapping. Where can we go? Where will it actually let us build this? I don't understand. It's going to let me build it all the way on here? It's going to let me build that? Let's build it all the way up here if it'll let me. Because that almost kind of makes sense, right? That you'd have that fence there on that half of the property. Whatever. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I don't think it should have let me have done that, but... So this is all about the micro decoration at this point. So we could kind of connect this, and that makes sense. And then if we come back in here with the landscaping and trees, you know, cram a couple conifers. We'll do one more over right there. We'll get a couple other trees in here. Oh, that's a nice big one. You know, little things like that will help fill up the area nicely. This path doesn't really have to go anywhere. We're just creating park objects, but it'd be kind of silly if it just went nowhere. So let's see if we can come in here. How do we get around this, huh? So I like that smooths out the terrain a little bit. We get that little path that goes in now behind the school. That cutout is a little bit abrupt, but you don't really see it. What could the kids use? The kids could use a plaza of some sort, right? Man, it'd be nice if we could get it right there. But that's gonna mess up our fence, huh? Do we like our fence enough not to... No, we don't. Not to break that. I think we like the plaza sitting next to the school better. Yeah, it's a good look. It's a little funny on that side. But we don't have to micromanage or worry about it too much on console. I don't do enough of the vegetation, so we could always get, you know, some of that in by the trail. A little bit here and there. Now you can rotate this since this doesn't have a brush size option. And that will sometimes let you kind of get them right on top of one another. Pretty close, I mean... They're definitely overlapping. But little things like that can do a nice little touch. And then if you want, you can hide a little bit of this this slopage. Is slopage a word? We're making it one. You can hide a little bit of this slopage and, you know, give it a little bit of life. Just a little something weird. And speaking of weird, if we want to get real weird, you know, we could put some rocks in the side of this mountain in a way where we're not breaking anything. How does that look? That's way too big. You know, but have some fun. Mess around with the landscaping tools. They're easy to miss and forget about. So I kind of like that. That works. And I think since this is all oil, we're not going to ruin anything. But let's get the big brush out. Let's go 2 clicks down off of full. And let's get a bunch of conifers up here. In this space. Or at least what it will let us fill. 2 clicks down. And then, yeah, like I've done so many times before, we'll mix in some of the others. And we turn the strength up here. Fill in some of these little gaps. I mean, if you want to get crazy with it, if you're really sticking with your build, put every tree where you want every tree, you know? Have at it. Oy. That is lumpy. Look at this parking lot. It's a good thing that's a Jeep back there. Because it's the only way you're getting in and out of that place. I gotta see this farm stand. Look at this thing. This guy walking around with the pockets, his hands in the pockets, is creepy. Just always in the pockets. I'm not up to anything. So here, like, this is really accessible, right? I can, you know, it's right at pocket height, and I can just barely take my fingers out of my pockets to pick up some of the fresh produce. Over here, though, this one you kind of have to, if you're going to leave your hands in your pockets, the only way to pick it up is with your mouth. And that is not sanitary, especially in these times. So I really think they should lower that farm stand a bit. It's, look how tall it is. Like, if you're working back here, like, you can't even see over the produce. Then again, you can't see him with his hands in his pockets. That's probably what he's going for. Although that works fine here, and this is a little bit more normal. All right, anyways, please don't demonetize me, YouTube. Man, that is... Yeah, that's a wonky one, too. Look at this one. Gotta jump to get up to that one. I feel like they should flatten the slope a little better. Look at this parking job, too. Man, okay. Let's stop realizing some of the bad stuff. Let's start pretending we didn't see any of that. I'm gonna go through in one of the next episodes and really kind of do a breakdown of troubleshooting. So I don't want to get into this too much. In fact, I don't want to get into it at all. I'm just looking for any real red flags. Okay, we'll pretend again like we didn't see that one either. So demand wise, right? We're not growing. We're losing population. +1. Somebody had a kid. But you know, we're at 22% unemployment. Do we bite the bullet and do office and get a patch in over here? I mean, we've got space for it. We could probably squeeze in another highway exit there. Do a little office park. Maybe that's something we do. I don't know. Do we not have police over here? Oh man, this was like 5 episodes ago. So you may remember, somebody remembers, I broke out the district brush and I was going to define helicopter priority for this district. And then after saying that, like 3 seconds later, I was like, why do we have a district here on the farm? We don't need that. And then I deleted it, and I never came back in here to fix that. So what we can do is, since we got rid of the police and fire service over here, I think, right? We don't have those right now. So you can say helicopter priority. So they won't even try and roll. They won't even try and roll cars to it. Don't bother. They're not going to get here in time. But you have to have a district in order to define that. So let's see if we can find this. Where helicopter priority? Did I go buy it? I feel like it's on city planning. I don't remember if I talked about in the last video. I'm using the new Elite, and it's super clicky. Helicopter priority. There it is. If there are emergencies on areas with this policy on, the services will always use helicopters instead of ground vehicles. Right? Yes. So they'll send police helicopters out. I have a police helicopter, don't I? Do I? Yes, I do. Over here. Transport hub. Get some helicopters flying in and out of there. One thing that we may want to think about. And we don't even actually have to overthink this for now. Let's just put this in the city. Let's see what kind of area of effect that has. It has a bad noise bubble, but that's about it. But they're there. They're across from the recycle plant for now, near the power plant, kind of off on the edge of the grid. Hopefully not bothering anybody. Well, not anymore, at least. The security, as far as I know, though, is still as bad as ever. So you can just walk right through the fence. It's kind of like one of those. I don't know what you call them, like the beaded doorways. The hippies have them, and if you have one, and you just found out you're a hippie, I'm sorry. This is also their car. But yeah, not so great from a security perspective. You can just walk right through there. There's nobody actually in the prison yet, which I think makes sense, right? It doesn't just spawn people right away. 0. Okay, so we've got space for 750 criminals. 7 prison vans in use, 7 to 7. So they should be offloading school bus. They should be offloading prisoners here relatively soon. And that's one tiny little bit of the troubleshooting that we'll get into. I will talk about that though in the next episode. So what we want to get done is I'm going to do more detail work. I'm going to do more little projects, and you may not, see those until the final cinematics. But hopefully I gave you some ideas for decoration today. Don't forget about the rocks. Don't forget about the vegetation. Especially on console, because we have very limited things that we can do. Like I could tighten up those footpaths there so we don't have those tiny little slits of grass, but hey, maybe we'll fix it, maybe we won't. And of course the next cutscene also shows that, so maybe we'll fix it. Be nice if we could nudge things around just a little bit, but we can't on console, so do what we can. I'm gonna fill in some more trees, gonna double check some stuff. But I think the next big episode, and forgive me, I'm kind of still getting back up to speed here, but the next big episode is going to be a health check, how to troubleshoot. And I'm going to kind of present it in a way that it's accessible to people that aren't necessarily fans of the channel. In that, it's going to be Rosewood. It's going to be one of the next episodes in the season, but it may not be called that, just so it's a little bit more inviting to people that aren't following the Let's Play or are coming from someplace else. So, just keep that in mind. You will see a Rosewood Let's Play that's technically a how-to. It's going to be how to troubleshoot your city, or how to, how to troubleshoot your city, how to fix your city, something like that. Keep an eye out for that one. One thing I do want to look at before we get out of here for today is the budget. The budget's so razor thin right now. Not that we need it, right? We've got enough padding, but income versus expenses. We aren't doing anything with any kind of high density, as you can see. We only have level 5 and very, very few. I shouldn't say we only have level 5. We have mostly level 5 and very few lower level buildings. Same thing with commercial, although that goes up to 3. And leisure, we've got a bit of tourism, a little bit of organic. Better mixture on of billings, income. I'm in sales. Industry and office. This is always an interesting one to look at because there isn't 3 of them. We have no generic zoned industry. We have no office. We have no IT cluster. We have no farming, forestry, or oil, at least not the default. We have the industries DLC versions of those, and those are bringing in a decent chunk of money right now, including about 10,000 for the factories. So all in all, we can kind of see where things are at. What is this, tolls? This is tolls coming in and out of the neighborhood. I think it's the only place we have them is coming in and out of Greenwood. So that's people just getting in and out of their houses. We don't need to worry about the loans anymore. Taxes is pretty good. So really the only thing that we can do, I shouldn't say, it's not the only thing we can do. One of the best things we can do to make money is just back down sports, right? Back down all the money that we're throwing into it, I should say. We have a full coaching staff, a full cheerleading staff. Maybe we, hey, we're filling up the tickets, right? We're filling up the stadium. Let's charge $40. Let's change some colors around too. That's too red. We need a little more orange. And what do we got? The orange alligators, the Buccaneers, the Bronco. I mean, the Broncos, they were kind of orange, right? There we go. That works. Good enough. I don't know. I like the seating being all orange now. Okay, anyways. That's transport views. That's cinematic camera. Next week, we're going to have a decently edited, put together, how to troubleshoot your city, how to fix problems episode, which again won't necessarily be a Let's Play, but keep an eye out. It will be Rosewood. It will be solving some of the problems that we've created here, but it's going to be more of a generic. Might even have to jump into some other cities to really talk about some stuff, since there just isn't, other aspects. There isn't office. There isn't farming or metro or some of those things that come along with some of the bigger cities. But we'll try and do everything in Rosewood itself. I've got a really cool idea for the cinematic end to our city, but that's you'll just have to hold off a little bit on that. We're getting there. We're getting real close. The build is done. I gotta stop moving people in, and I'm really gonna let things settle down and see, where do we cram in a little bit more commercial, maybe an industrial pocket, maybe a little office pocket on the other side of the highway there by the sports arenas. But we're getting to that point where, I want to stop adding stuff, because if it's more residential, it's just creating more unemployment problems, and we don't want that. We want relatively decent employment. And we'll try and balance things where the businesses are hurting and abandoning a little bit, if anything, rather than people being unemployed and destitute. We don't need that in Rosewood. Not that we need that anywhere, but we'll try and avoid that here. Hopefully you've been enjoying these last couple episodes. It's been a weird one. Computer problems and all sorts of issues that I've been having. But we're getting back on track. Regular videos Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We'll get more into tutorials. There'll be more Let's Plays. There'll be a new build coming soon, but there's also lots of other content. And I know some of you that are regulars on the channel have been sticking with me through that, and I really appreciate that. It's nice to mix things up a bit. And if cities is the reason you're here and you're not going to watch anything else, that is totally fine. There'll still be plenty of cities content. But until the next one, you know the drill. You've been here before, probably. This isn't your first rodeo. If it is, subscribe for more and hit the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. Likes, comments, shares, they all help. They're all appreciated. I say it all the time, and I mean it all the time. If you'd like to support the channel, links to that and lots of other things in the description down below. But until our little health check coming soon, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.